Hey guys, the Middle Maniac back again. Um, today I'm gonna be, not today, this time. I keep saying today. This time on this video I'm gonna be ranking the Death albums from worst to best, all 7 of them. Okay, so before I start the ranking video, I just want to say I'm sorry if I had a weird temporary speech impediment in the last video. I kind of bit my tongue before recording the other video, and it really hurt, and I was trying very hard not to move my tongue as much as possible. So, yeah, that happened. Yeah, I just want you to apologize if I did start slurring my words in that video. It's not because I had an actual speech impediment, it's because I bit my tongue and was trying so hard not to move my tongue because it really hurt. Luckily, it's all better now, and I could move my tongue without it hurting. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm ranking Death's albums from worst to best. There's 7 of them. 7 of them. Sorry, I'm already messing up my words because I'm talking too fast. Anyway, there are 7 of them, and yeah, let's begin. So, at number 7, the worst Death album of all time, Individual Thought Patterns. Now, a lot of people seem to really love it. I don't understand why. It's just not that good. Like, at all. Even the cover is very bizarre. Like, I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but, yeah, look at that. What the hell's going on here? I mean, from the cover to the actual songs, it's just so dumb. Like, seriously, let's start with the cover first, because why not? It's just, what is going on here? Like, this is the weirdest artwork from the band Death. Like, I mean, of course you got Death's logo, but then you got an x-ray of a skull and spine, and then you got the earth down here, and random paint streaks, random paint blotches that I guess are supposed to be the individual thought patterns, but it's just very bizarre, and just very, why? Like, it almost seems like, I don't know, it almost seems like they just didn't really care about the artwork and just slapped something on there. And the songs themselves the songs themselves are kind of like that, where they just are very, very, very forgettable. They just seemed slapped on there. This album just seemed like it was just released to, you know, be a place in their discography to just, sit there just because they wanted to make something but didn't really want to make something good. They just wanted to make something. Yeah, it's terrible. I just cannot listen to this at all. Yeah, that's at number 7. At number 6 is Human, another fan favorite. I mean, the only reason why this isn't the worst is because there is a song on here that I do like. It's actually not an original song by Death. It's actually a cover song. It's the cover song of God of Thunder, originally by Kiss. Now, hold on. Maybe the reason why I'm too hyper all the time is I'm having too many sodas. Whatever. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so yeah, the cover song "God of Thunder," or again originally by Kiss, is the only song from the album I actually enjoy. The rest are bland and forgettable. It's amazing that the only song on this album I enjoy is not even an original song by the band. I mean, it's really catchy. It's not really a Death song. I don't know. It doesn't fit, but it's good. But yeah, that's the only thing from the album I like, and even the artwork's pretty bizarre too. It's like it's like anatomy cadavers. I don't know. But yeah, that's at number 6. At number 5 Wait, is this at number 5? Yeah, okay, I'm right. At number 5 is Spiritual Healing, an extremely, extremely underrated album. Um, it's not a great album, but it does have a lot of good things on it. Like, the song, where is it? Defensive Personalities, I love. It's really good. Within the Mind is awesome. The title track Spiritual Healing is awesome. Um, Low Life is pretty good. And then Killing Spree, the last song, is amazing. So yeah, there's some really, really good songs on this album. But yeah, it seems to be very looked over. Now, originally, here's the thing. Originally, I hated this album. Originally, I thought this was the worst Death album. Now, the reason why I had that mindset in the first place was because, like, the audio quality is very spotty on this album. Like, it's very weird. It's very mixed. Like, certain songs have great audio quality, while others don't have great audio quality. Like, I don't know. The audio quality is very weird on this album. But if you can look past that, this is a great album. Yeah, that's at number 5. At number 4, Symbolic. This seems to be a lot of people's favorite. It's not my favorite, but it is a really good album, isn't it? Alright, so from number 4 to number 1, here on out, these are going to be either near perfect albums or perfect albums. These are albums that I think are legitimately awesome. Like, these are albums here on out that I think are really, really good. That I absolutely love. But yeah, Symbolic. This is a great album. This is, I think, one of the first Death albums I listened to. Because the first Death album I listened to, I think I've already said this, the first one I listened to was Scream Bloody Gore. And then I think this was the second one that I listened to. Either this or The Sound of Perseverance. But I think this was the second one that I listened to. It's really, really good. I mean, almost all the songs are good. Symbolic, Zero Tolerance, Empty Words, Sacred Serenity, 1,000 Eyes, Without Judgment, and Crystal Mountain. Yeah, the only really bad songs on this album are the last two, Misanthrope and Perennial Quest. But everything else is amazing. Like, this is an amazing album, but just not as amazing as the other ones that are ranked higher on this listing. But yeah, Symbolic is at number 4. Number 3, Leprosy. Now, most people who love this band, this will always be their number 1. Like, for most people, but for me, it's just at number 3. It is still a near perfect album, but it's not so much my favorite. One of my favorites to the point that it would be number 1, but it's still really, really, really good. This was the last album that Death did really like horror. Like, they were still death metal on Spiritual Healing, but their topics on those songs were more like real world problems. This is the last of their death metal albums that were horror movie related songs. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this was really, really awesome. I love it. Again, really the only songs that I don't like from the album are that I think weigh it down a bit are Primitive Ways and I think Left to Die. But other than that, this album's great. Some really, really catchy songs, a few underrated songs, and just overall really awesome album. Alright, number 2. Number 2 is The Sound of Perseverance. Their last album, their epic album. I'm sorry, I'm kind of not really tired, but somewhat mentally exhausted. I don't know why. Let's see. Um, what to say? I'm trying to think of something to say that I didn't say in my review of this album. Just not so I don't say the same thing again. I don't know. I mean, this is a great album. Their epic final stand, you know, like their epic end end album. End album. I don't know. I can't speak. um, but yeah, this is a great album. The only songs that I think weigh this down just a tiny bit. Well, the only one song I think this weighs it down a tiny bit is Flesh and the Power It Holds. I think it's extremely overrated and just not actually a good song. I think it's the reason why I think that is gonna be. I think maybe it's just been played too much. Like even back in the day when they were still around, like when they were still a band and Chuck was still alive, they just played the song to death. Like it no pun intended, but they played the song to the point where it just got extremely annoying. Like, cause like a lot of the live footage of when they played live, like this song, like especially during this time period when they promoted this album, they always played that song. Like it just, I mean, it's just a song that I think if they didn't play it that often and just wasn't talked about so much, like if it wasn't extremely overly hyped and just not overly praised, I think it wouldn't have been so tiring. You know, I don't think it would have worn out on me as much. But yeah, it's just the fact that it's just it's not a good song now. Maybe it would have been if it wasn't, you know, so overly hyped and so overly praised, and I wasn't holding so high regard and expectations before I listened to it. Yeah, but other than that song, this album's amazing. I mean, it's one of the best instrumentals of all time. Like I said before, it really pulls at your heartstrings. Scavenger of Human Sorrows is awesome. Bite the Pain is awesome. Spirit Crusher is one of the best death metal songs of all time, just like Evil Dead on their first album. Let's see. Forgive Us Suffer. The Painkiller cover is awesome. My favorite cover song of all time. It's just so epic. But yeah, overall, very close to being perfect. Just one thing that keeps it from being absolutely perfect. So that, yeah, The Sound of Perseverance is at number 2. And if you guys are familiar with Death's discography, you guys know what's coming next due to Process of Elimination. That's right. At number 1, Scream, Bloody Gore. This is an absolute awesome death metal album. Like, I've already stated many times in other videos that this is my favorite, not only my favorite debut album of all time, but one of, if not my favorite death metal album of all time. Like, I'm a huge fan of old school death metal. Like, this is absolute perfection. Like, no song on here gets weary. Like, no song on here is like, I eventually don't like. I never get tired of any of the songs on this album. I mean, there's just some legendary songs on this album, like Zombie Ritual, Regurgitated Guts, Baptized in Blood, Scream Bloody Gore, Evil Dead. Like, just a perfect death metal album. It's so good. But yeah, this is at number 1. I love it. So yeah, I guess that is it for this video. I might do one more video again, depending on how long this takes to upload. Just again, because I do have an evening shift at work, and this video, and I have to leave actually quite early. But yeah, I might upload another video, one more, if this video doesn't take too long to upload. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.